Hello, lads and lasses of the pipe smoking community of Ireland. This is the Pipepastor coming to you with my residence video for this week. And it's always good to be with you. I procrastinated a little long, so this is Sunday night, and about 8:30 or so here in Fresno. Weather's pretty nice, been pretty nice today, and just got done watching the Super Bowl and was kind of getting drowsy. Been up since 3. And then, I got to make my residence video. Well, here I am, smoking one of my delightful Roush pipes made for me by my friend Larry Roush. This was a Christmas pipe he made for me years ago. Red stain, his classic rustication, and his sandblast combined. This is his acorn. And of course, those of you that know me semi well enough, who looked at my videos enough, know I'm a freak for that green Cumberland. Oh my gosh. And his has got those nice deep dark swirls that I like so much. I love Larry Roush pipes, and he's a dear friend. But one gripe I have is that he has a propensity for making his bits too small, unless it's a saddle. When he makes his saddle bits, they come out and he gives a little bit of clenching space. But typically in his bent pipes, he makes them like this, and as you can see, it just barely gives you enough to clench. Which I imagine is probably how he smokes his bents. He probably smokes them like this. He uses the button, or maybe it's just the way my teeth are formed. But one of the things I look for in a good pipe made for me is its clenchability. I don't like the button too big, don't like it too small, and his buttons are just about perfect. Nice flat at the top, but I could use a little bit more clenching space. Other than that, just a beautiful pipe, and he's made me 4. And they're rather high end. There's not very many people like Larry that can charge you anywhere from $650 to close to $1,000 for a rusticated. And he gets it. I mean, as soon as he gets done with the pipe, puts it on his website and says this pipe's available, bam, it's gone. So really enjoyable. I'm smoking some black gold, and very enjoyable today. And I was pleased with the outcome of the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning and his team, the Broncos, winning it. It was a good game. Had my mother, daughter, my granddaughter, and my wife here watching it with me. The estrogen level was rather high. And my wife, she's like a dude when it comes to watching football. I mean, she's a freak. I pretty much burned out playing it for most of my life, and so surprisingly, I don't watch a lot of football. My favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys, and you can see why I don't watch a lot of football. And Washington Redskins. The rest of my family, except for my son Ben, he's a Cowboy fan too. The rest of them are 49er fans. So I really don't get into the football scene as much as they would like me to. And my wife is she's absolutely, I'm the football widow when it comes to watching football season. So I was very surprised at the classy and well done way that Lady Gaga sang the national anthem. I'm still a little old-fashioned when it comes to my country, and still have a very hard time not beating the face in to those people that burn the flag, spit on the flag, or in any way dishonor the flag. Have a real hard time with people that dishonor the national anthem. Lady Gaga did a great job, in my opinion. And if you haven't had a look yet at this year's PSOI special, the pipe that Peterson is making for us with the green Cumberland stem, you need to take a look at it. Great pipe, and the pipe stands for something special, something that every Irishman should be proud of and be endeared to. I won't mention it now because some thin-skinned individual, I won't mention his name, and he has a right to think what he wants to think about things, but accused Care of making a pipe that it was making a political statement, and really, I don't care if it did. And it's for Pete's sake, people, this is the pipe smokers of Ireland, and if you're Irish and you're part of this community, and you're not grateful, thankful, and proud of your nation, well, I better stop right there. But for those of us that are here and love the fact that our country got its independence, finally, I love the pipe all the more for what it stands for. And so thank you, Glenn, for picking a good pipe out for us this year. And I'm sign me up. I'm in. Love it. Love the color stain. I love the rustication. Love the green Cumberland stem. I've never been, to be honest with you, very fond of military bits. Don't know why. I just don't like them, and I especially don't like them when they go into a metal fitting like this one does. So for me to really like this pipe means that they really did an outstanding job on the kind of a pipe I wouldn't normally like or buy. And definitely this one is going to be part of my collection. On a Friday night, went over to my son Nick's house, Boulder Donahue, and we watched the extended edition of the Five Armies, Battle of Five Armies, the third sequel, final sequel to the Hobbit movies by Peter Jackson. And I got to tell you, my brothers, sisters, if you have not seen the extended version of the Battle of Five Armies, oh my gosh. Now, we haven't seen the extended version of the first or second of the trilogy. It just so happened that Nick got the third one that night, so he said, what the heck, let's just go ahead and do it. You know, first of all the goodies that come with a special edition that tells you how they made this and how they made it, just absolutely fascinating. That in itself is so enjoyable, so fascinating. But some of the stuff that they included in this extended edition is brilliant. It's genius. It's got so many aha moments that I can't tout it enough for you guys. Gotta watch it, man. You have got to watch it. You're gonna love it. We had a good time watching it, and can't wait to watch the other ones now. I started a 2-part series today in church in honor of it's about Valentine's Day. And in our church, we try best we can to reclaim the Christian legacy associated with so many of the holidays in the liturgical calendar. I don't know if this is celebrated in Europe, but here We celebrate every February, I think it's 14th, we celebrate St. Valentine's Day. And St. Valentine's Day has largely become secularized in America, so that it's billions of miles away from what the feast day of the saint really represents. So my tact in our church is every time there becomes a holiday celebrated in America along the liturgical year that has anything to do with or has any origins in Christianity, I go back to the original and historical roots of that day, the spirit behind that day, and reclaim it, bring it forward and reclaim it. To tell my church, if you're going to celebrate this day as a Christian, you need to do it the way it originally was intended. And we do that with St. Patrick, St. Valentine's, birthday of St. Nicholas, and so forth and so on. So in honor of the fact that Valentine's Day is on a Sunday next week, we did a two-part series starting this week on what is true love. What does true love look like? What does true love feel like? Today I talked about what it looks like. How do you spot it? How can you tell when there is an existence between you and someone else? True and authentic love, the way love is supposed to be, and how it's different from the kind of love engendered with symbolisms like Cupid and red hearts and romance and that kind of thing. Not that romance is bad, but that romance in and of itself doesn't produce anything that's lasting and enduring. So, yeah, I preached on what does true love look like this morning. I thought that was interesting. And Kerr had brought up the fact that he'd love and thought that other people in the community would love access to my sermons, to be able to listen to my sermons. You know, they are what they are. They're very good aids when it comes to constipation and when it comes to insomnia. But in any case, if you are ever interested in listening to any of my sermons, just type into Google, or just type into here's the link. The link is thelegacychurch.net. Thelegacychurch.net. And you'll get on the site, and then you just click on media, then click on podcasts, and then usually my sermons, which are usually done in a series, will be on there, and you just click on the series and it'll take you right to it. I usually publish them on my Facebook account. If you want to be a friend of mine on my Facebook account, just go on Facebook, and you'll find me if you type in Peter Bertolero, Bertolero, or Dr. Pete Bertolero. Dr. Pete Bertolero is my author's page. Peter Bertolero is my regular page. And GreenTreeCommunity.net is my page, my website on all things that have to do with Christian holidays and that kind of thing. So, that's that. Two of my trusty Xichar lighters. This is my favorite. Just perfect. Goes right in. You don't burn the lid. Tell you why you need these. You need one of these. Reason why they got lifetime warranties. They ever break down any, take them back. They give you a new one, no questions asked. So the great lighters. We're plodding our way through the book of Ecclesiastes, the pipe smoker's book of the Bible. And it's on how to achieve true happiness, true meaning, true significance in life. if you're an existentialist, you want to know the answer to that existential question: how can you find meaning in life, or what is true meaning in life? How do you get to the place where you are maximizing your enjoyment of your life? Book of Ecclesiastes is the book for you. And we're in chapter 5, and in chapter 5, Solomon is dealing with a variety of different kinds of things that produce cynicism. And we talked last week, for instance, about political cynicism. And he deals here in verse 10 of chapter 5 with financial cynicism. And so let me just read verse 5 to you. Chapter 5, verse 10. Verse 10 reads like this: Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. And we've talked at length about the fact that that word meaningless in the book of Ecclesiastes, sometimes translated vanity, or a vapor, or wind, is the word hevel, Hebel in Hebrew. And basically it's a word that just means insubstantial, unprofitable, a vapor. You grab it as if it's something concrete, and when you have it, it turns out to be nothing but vapor. Meaningless. A chasing after the wind. And he uses that a lot, Solomon does, in coming to particular conclusions in answer to life questions. And here in verse 10, it is his conclusion that if you are infatuated with making money, and you like to make money and get more money and get as much wealth as you possibly can, in the end you're going to find that in your hand there is nothing that's substantial. Jesus said it like this. He said something to the nature of, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and in the process loses his own soul? And so people are always asking me about the biblical worldview when it comes to wealth, when it comes to finances, that kind of thing. And the Bible doesn't teach that you shouldn't have money, doesn't teach that it's wrong to make money or to master the craft of making money, or that you shouldn't use money. But it does teach us something sobering about money. In 1 Timothy chapter 6:10, in the New Testament, a Christian teaching, it says, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith, and they have pierced themselves with many griefs. So as a pastor, the pastoral admonition that I give to those under my care is that if you have bought into the worldview that is woven into the fabric of this country's market-driven economy, that it takes a certain amount of money for you to be happy and for your life to have meaning, you'll never make enough money for you to be happy and for your life to have meaning. And you'll never have enough, you'll never make enough, because you're looking at commodities and goods and services, information and experiences that are made available to you, and you're never going to be satisfied with what you have. You'll always want more of them, and therefore you'll always want more money to have them, and to have more of them, and to have more of them. and you'll acquire things, and the more stuff you get, it moves you then to more information and to more experiences, and you could hire more people to do more things. And if you love the thought of having a certain amount of money to be completely satisfied, to be completely fulfilled, you're going to be completely disillusioned in the end because you're deceived. And you'll never have enough. We've talked about this ad nauseum now in this study in Ecclesiastes. If you need things external to yourself, outside of the givens, if you need food, you need clothing, and that kind of thing. But if you need more and more and more of stuff that is outside of your soul in order to be happy, then you'll never be happy, because built into your nature is the desire to always have more than what you currently have. That's why in our crass consumerism here in America, the key with anybody producing product is that they're always producing something that's new and improved. The reason why we need things that are new and improved is because of the law of entropy. Things decay. Things wear out. Old things are things we bought yesterday. It's not that the old is bad. It's just that if you're satisfied with the old, then the people that are trying to sell you stuff are going to go extinct pretty soon, because you're not going to want any more. In order for you to continue to buy their goods and services and products and so forth, they always have to bait you into buying them by saying that they have a newer version and a more improved version than the one that you have. And the thinking that causes you to be discontent, the thinking that causes you to not be content with what you have, and to not be grateful, not be filled with gratitude and happy with the things that you have, will lead you to personal bankruptcy. And bankruptcies are up in this country by something almost like 40%. In 2003, I think it was, bankruptcies were at around 7.4%. And now they're up almost 40%. The average credit card, which was $10,000 in 2003, is now $15,159 as far as people in debt. That's the average indebtedness to people that have credit cards. People are always asking God to help them. God, give me more of this. God, give me more. How can God ever truly bless anyone who always exceeds those blessings by $15,000? Why should he give you any more? Every time he gives you anything more, you're just going to exceed that by $15,000. So the whole idea behind this understanding of having to have more and having to make more. Did you know that the World Bank's estimate for the international poverty line is $1.45 an hour? Or I'm sorry, $1.45 a day. Which means that the majority of people living on this planet and sharing this planet with us live at this poverty line or below. They make $1.45 per day. The average American living below the poverty line still enjoys a lifestyle that only 1% of the entire Earth's population experiences. So money is like a gauge on the dashboard of your car. It indicates what's going on in your heart. It's nothing more than an indication of what you treasure and where your treasure is. Money shapes and it forms your values, and God uses money to expose the state of your heart. So, yeah, when it comes to money, and when it comes to people who are fundamentally filled with lustful, greedy hearts and ambitions, the biblical worldview informs Christians to be cynical. So does Solomon. So money, no matter how much or how little that you have, does not have the power to make you happy. You know, it's hard for you to believe. The studies done that follow people that win the lottery and all of a sudden come into millions and millions of dollars, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars, never find those people's lives truly blessed in the end. So if you want to be happy and if you want to be fulfilled, any idea that you have that it will take more money to do that and more things to do that is an illusion. What really the sum of the answer to the question of how to be happy, how to be truly happy, is something that can be learned. And you learn it by going home at night and giving your kids a kiss, and hold your wife and love your family, and get them to turn off all the appliances and all of the electronics and get around your table and have a conversation. Sit around with your family in the family room, have some conversations, some questions, play some games, anything that will make or force you to talk with each other and enjoy each other's company. Get out, go camping, take a ride, pray with each other, go to church with each other. And try to fight as best as you can the mesmerizing agenda that the powers of be are exercising over your minds and over your hearts. Keep the humanity in your family. Thank God and be grateful for the things that you have. Take care of the things that you have. Be content with the things that you have. And get your priorities in order and learn how to itemize and prioritize the things that you truly believe in, the things that you truly value and want to accomplish in your life and in your family. When it comes to money, when it comes to material goods and things like that, not that I'm anti-capitalist, not that I'm anti or against capitalism, at least the good kind of capitalism. Work hard, make as much money as you can by working hard, take care of your family. But in the end, make sure that you are not living to work, you're working to live. This is Pipepastor coming to you once again from Fresno, California. I truly hope and pray you are all well, and let us continue to remember Phil Hargreaves in prayer and our thoughts that he get better and better. Till I talk to you again next week, Xichar.